Good morning. We have seen in the last lecture natural frequency of a transverse vibration, and we have derived an equation for to evaluate natural frequency of a free vibration in case of a transverse vibration, and by neglecting mass of the beam. Okay, and we have also seen by considering the mass of the spring or mass of the beam, what is the natural frequency if it is subjected to a single load. Okay, but if you look at in realistic life, it is not a single load that acts on the beam, or it is not the case where there is a single load that acts and it undergoes a vibration. So in majority of the cases, you will see there are different loads at different locations, and the loads also may not be having the same magnitude at all the points. So there are different loads at different locations, and the magnitudes are different and the nature also different. So in such a cases, if you want to find out what is the natural frequency of a transverse vibration, there are different methods are available, like Rayleigh's method, Dunkerley's method, and equilibrium method. Other methods are there. So today's lecture we will see the method called Dunkerley's method, and we will discuss the methodology, and then we will solve a problem on this Dunkerley's method concept. Okay, you are aware of it. If you take a cantilever beam, okay, whatever it is, let me start with once again the one which we have taken in the initial derivation. A cantilever beam is loaded with an end load which is like a point load W. Then we have written an equation called natural frequency of this by neglecting the mass of the beam Fn. We have written 1 by 2 pi root z by delta. Okay, this is what we have written for natural frequency of a transverse vibration subjected to a point load, or it is end some weight or some load is applied, neglecting the mass of the system. Then the natural frequency is estimated Fn is equal to 1 by 2 pi root z by delta. Okay, so as I said, in realistic life we have number of loads. Okay, the loads are not necessary only single load. So let us take a case where there is a beam which is like a simply supported and subjected to various point loads at different locations, and also combined with a uniformly distributed load at some locations, or it may be entire beam. Either it can be like this, that is at a different locations simultaneously, UDL with a different magnitudes and a point loads of different loads, say W1, W2, W3, and this W1 per unit length UDL, and this is W2 small w's, and this is small w3 per unit lengths. So if you want to find out the natural frequency of such a transverse vibration, okay, the method what we use called a Dunkerley's method. So this Dunkerley's method gives like a simple relation 1 by Fn square is equal to 1 by Fn1 square plus 1 by Fn2 square plus so on plus 1 by Fns square. So here, what is left hand side Fn? What is the right hand side Fn1, Fn2, Fns? Let us see. So Fn is the left hand side, is the natural frequency of the entire system, natural frequency of the system with the combined loading, Then what are these Fn1 and Fn2, Fn3, like so on, and Fns are? So if you look at this beam can be assumed like n number of independent systems with a single loads, like say W1, and this also separately shown with another load like W2, then with another load W3 plus UDLs. So the UDL loads like the first UDL plus so on. So if you combine all these systems will give you a actual realistic system with all various loads here available. So my objective is to find out the natural frequency of this system with all these loads. So the natural frequency can be obtained by using this Dunker-Lewis equation or this Dunker-Lewis method. That is 1 by Fn square is equal to 1 by Fn1 square plus 1 by Fn2 square plus so on plus 1 by Fns square. What is this Fn1 and Fn2, Fn3? If you consider only load 1, that is a W1, then what is the natural frequency of the system? That is called Fn1. If you consider only load 2, what is the natural frequency of the system? Fn2, like Fn3, so on. And we have also written the UDLs also. So for the UDLs, I am writing NS. So like this is point loads like 1, 2, 3, 4, and whereas this NS is for UDL, NS like UDL. So you have n number of UDLs are there, those UDLs are also added, isn't it? So in that case, okay, the summation of these natural frequencies Fn1, Fn2, Fn3, okay, is made it like this. That is, the overall system taking as a single entity with the number of loads, its natural frequency square 1 by reciprocal of that is the natural frequency square reciprocal of the individual sum. So that is what 1 by Fn square is equal to 1 by Fn1 square plus 1 by Fn2 square so on plus 1 by Fnsu square, isn't it? So if you look at here, so the Fn is equal to, for point loads, this is 1 by 2 pi root g by delta. If you substitute g is equal to 9.81 by delta, then you get this is 0.4985 by delta. And what about for the natural frequency when it is subjected to UDL? Then this equation is going to be a different equation, which is nothing but 0.5164 by root delta. So this is natural frequency of a system with a point loads, and this is the natural frequency of the system with the UDLs. Okay, so if you have like 3 point loads and 1 UDL, we'll write it for the corresponding values and we can substitute that corresponding delta values. So what is this delta 1, delta 2? Like if I write here 1, then I put 1. If I write here it is 2, then it will become 2. Like 3, 3, like it varies. So what that delta 1, delta 2, delta 3, so if you apply a load only W1, okay, and the beam is going to be deflected like this, and the delta 1 is the deformation where the load is applied, which is called delta 1. Okay, so like delta 2 with the only that load, what is the deflection that is obtained at the load applied point? Like only that load, what is the deflection obtained at that location is the delta 3. Okay, so by calculating your delta 1, delta 2, delta 3 values, then we can first find out what is Fn1, Fn2, Fn3. If it is a UDL, then we can go for the other equation 0.5164 by root delta. Okay, this is also 1, 2, 3, 4, like how many number you have, that many number you will write. So then you will get the natural frequencies. Then if you get all the natural frequencies as an individual loads, then if you substitute it in this equation, 1 by Fn square is equal to 1 by Fn1 square plus 1 by Fn2 square plus so on, 1 by Fnsu square, you get that value, isn't it? So here we have different conditions for the deltas, okay, like if you take this is a cantilever beam with a point load, a cantilever beam with a point load W, with a length of L, with a modulus of velocity of E and moment of inertia of A, area moment of inertia of A, I, okay. Then for this, the value of deflection equation is WL cube by 3EI. WL cube by 3EI. Okay. So this is delta equation for a cantilever beam subjected to a point load at free end, WL cube by 3A. Okay. And it is in case of like a simply supported beam with a point load at a location, say from one end A and other end B. So if this is the total length of L with the features of E and I, then in this case we can write this is the load W. Delta is equal to W A square B square by 3EIL. So this is a cantilever beam with a point load, and this is simply supported beam, a point load at A and B distances from the ends. So this can be written as W A square B square by 3EIL. Is it? So delta is equal to W A square B square by 3EIL. So that is a point load at a distance of A from the free end and B from the other end. Okay. So this is the equation. Suppose if it is at middle, so that means A is equal to B is equal to L by 2. Then this delta value becomes W L by 2 whole square into L by 2 whole square by 3EAL. Okay, so then it gives L to the power of 4, L get cancelled, W L cube by, so 2 2s are 4, 4 4s are 16, 16 3s are 48 EA. That is, if A is equal to B is equal to L by 2. If you see this load as not at different distances from ends, if you treat it like at middle, in that case, you get delta value is WL cube by 48 EA for a simply supported beam with point load. Similar, a simply supported beam with UDL, a simply supported beam with UDL with a load of W per unit length, W per unit length. So the equation for the delta equation is 5 by 384 W L to the power of 4 by EA. So this is UDL with a W unit length, okay, for an entire length of the span. For the entire length of the span. So this delta becomes 5 by 384 WL to the power of 4 by EA. In case if it is like this, isn't it? So then you have to write a separate equations treating them as an independent one. If it is not an entire load or a period of a total length. Okay. So then coming to say a cantilever beam, simply supported cantilever, then fixed beam. So a fixed beam, it is called fixed beam. This is simply supported beam with UDL. So fixed beam, okay, in case of fixed beam, a point load W like at A and B distances, then your delta value is equal to W A cube B cube by 3EIL. W A cube B cube by 3EIL. Suppose in this case A is equal to B is equal to L by 2. Then delta becomes W L by L cube by 8 into L cube by 8, okay, by 3EIL, isn't it? So this is W A cube B cube by 3EIL cube. Sorry. So A is equal to B is equal to L by 2. So then how much you get? This is W L cube by 8 into L cube by 8. So it gives 8 8s are 64, 64 3s. So this 192. So this is 192, 8 8s are 64, 64 3s. 192 EI. So L cube get cancelled. So W L cube by 192 EI. So that is in case of fixed beam with a point load, and the point load is at the center. If it is at a random style like A is different from the B, then it is a WA cube B cube by 3EIL cube. Okay. Similar, a fixed beam with UDL. A fixed beam with UDL. W per unit length. In that case, the value of delta is equal to W L to the power of 4 by 384 EI. So these are the various cases, okay. A cantilever beam with a point load, okay. Similar, there is a one more case, a cantilever beam with UDL. This we have missed. Cantilever beam with UDL. Okay, so this cantilever beam with UDL gives the delta value is equal to WL4 by 8EA. This is cantilever with UDL, cantilever with point load. So cantilever with point load, cantilever with UDL, like simply supported with point load and simply supported with UDL, then fixed beam with point load and fixed beam with the UDL. Like this, the delta values can be obtained for various cases. So for the given problem, you can identify first the delta values. Once you get the delta values, then you get its individual natural frequencies. That means that load alone, if it acts, once that is evaluated, then you can apply in your Dunker-Lewis equation like 1 by Fn square is equal to 1 by Fn1 square plus 1 by Fn2 square plus so on. Like if there are UDLs also there, then you can write Fnsu square like so on. Then FNS1, FNSU and Fn1 can be obtained by 0.4985 by root delta 1 and FNSU1 is 0.5164 by root delta 1. Okay, like this, if you substitute in this, the left hand side can be calculated, it's a natural frequency. So this is a method called Dunker-Lewis method. The same problem can be solved by another method called Rayleigh's method. Okay, the Rayleigh's method also is useful, but this is a simplest method, the Dunker-Lewis method, when compared to the Rayleigh's method. Okay, so we'll see a problem on this transverse vibration with multiple loads, how to find out natural frequency. Problem on the concept what we have discussed just now. Let us see the problem. A shaft of 40 mm diameter with a length of 2.5 meters has a mass of 15 kg per meter length. It is simply supported at the ends and carries three masses 90 kg, 140 kg, 60 kg respectively at 0.8 meters, 1.5 meters and 2 meters from the left support. Modulus of velocity is given 200 gigapascal. Find the frequency of a transverse vibration. Okay, so let us first draw the sketch for the given thing. It is a simply supported beam. It is a simply supported beam. Okay, what is the length? It is the length of 2.5 meters. And a mass of 15 kg per meter length. So that the weight of this is as a UDL, and this UDL magnitude is given 15 kg per meter. Then the point loads are 90, 140, 60 from a distance of 0.8 meters. So this is 90, then 140 at what distance? 1.5. So 1.5 somewhere like this. Is how much it is at 1.5? 140. Then at 2 meters, that is 60 kg somewhere here. This distance is 2 meters. So additionally this is another 0.5. So this is how much it is? 60 kg. So you are supposed to find out the deflection, the natural frequency of the given beam. It's a transverse vibration. So in a Dunker-Lewis method, we said 1 by Fn square is equal to 1 by Fn1 square plus 1 by Fn2 square plus so on NYFNS square. Okay, so the same equation, if you write it in terms of like G is equal to 9.81 and writing that Fn is equal to 1 by 2 pi root G by delta form and simplifying that, we will get Fn is equal to 0.4985 by root over delta 1 plus delta 2 plus delta 3 so on plus delta S, that is UDL, by 1.27. So the same equation, substituting Fn is equal to 1 by 2 pi root G by delta and writing them in a simplified version and reciprocal of it and solving it to get Fn, we get the equation Fn is equal to 0.4985 by delta 1 plus delta 2 plus so on delta SU by 1.27. Even if you want to write this way, you can write and you can get the value, but it gives very simple way, because once you get delta 1 delta 2 by directly substituting here. Okay, now let us take this case, simply supported beam with UDL with a load of, what is it, 15 kg per meter. Okay, first in this case find out what is a delta SU. So for a simply supported beam with a UDL, we know that the equation is 5WL4 by 384 EI or 5mg L cube by 384 EI. So it is given the values of E 200 GPa. Okay, I is known, that is pi by 64 d to the power of 4. Okay, then the other values are, M is given like 90, what is it, 15 kg per meter, G is 9.81 and L is 2.5. So substitute those values, then delta SU is equal to, so by substituting first you have to get the E value. How to get E value? Pi by 64 d to the power of 4, that is pi by 64, sorry, not E, I. E is given 200 GPa, that is 10 power 9 Pascal. So pi by 64 d 40 into 10 power minus 3 whole to the power of 4, that gives the value of phi. So you get the value of phi is equal to 0.125 into 10 power minus 6 meter to the power of 4. E is obtained, I is obtained. So 5 into M. So what is it? 15 kg per meter length. So this is 9.8 L 2.5 whole cube by 384. E is 200 into 10 power 9. I is 0.125 into 10 power minus 6. So you will get the delta value. Okay, so the delta value here 0.00298 meters. So the delta of UDL, considering only UDL completely applied over the length, and the deflection maximum at the center, which is delta SU 5WL cube by 384 EI, that is 5 mgl cube by 384 EI. So that way you will get that value. Then coming to the delta 1, delta 2, those things. So what is delta? We know that delta equation is W A square B square by 3 EIL. This is what just now we have written. If it is a simply supported beam with a point load at a distance of A and B, if there is a W load, then we know that the deflection here delta 1 is W A square B square by 3 EIL. So let us take the first load is a 90 load. So what is the load? First load is 90. At what distance is? This is 0.8 meters. So A is 0.8. Then automatically B is equal to 2.5 minus 0.8. That is 1.7 meters. So substitute W, that is mg, 90 into 9.81. So this is W is mg. A square B square, A 0.8 square, B 1.7 square by 3 E 200 into 10 power 9, then L I is 0.125 into 10 power minus 6, L 2.5. So you will get the value of delta 1 is 0.00866. Then coming to the delta 2, okay, in that case, what is load 140? So 140 into 9.81. Then what is A in that case? 1.5. B is 1. 3 EIL same. This will not change. As it is going to substitute. Then in that case, the delta 2 value is 0.1639 meters. Then similar delta 3 is load is 60 into 9.81. A is 2 meters and B is 0.5 by 3 EIL. Then in that case, the delta 3 value is obtained 0.00312 meters. So once you get those values, then you can substitute here Fn is equal to 0.4985 by root over delta 1, that is delta 1 where is 0.00866, okay, plus 0.1639 meters. So then delta 3, so what is the delta 3? Delta 3 is 0.00312. Then UDL, what is the UDL? First one 0.00298. So 0.00298 by 1.27. So substitute delta 1, delta 2, delta 3, so on, delta SU by 1.27, and calculating this, you get Fn is equal to 2.85H. Fn is equal to 2.85H. Okay, so this way we can solve a problem using Dunker-Lewis method. Our objective is to find out transverse vibration natural frequency. For that, first we will calculate the delta values, assuming the point loads or UDLs are alone acting, and what is its corresponding deformations Then after getting all those things, substituting in the Denkerley's equation, that is 1 by Fn square is equal to 1 by Fn1 square plus so on 1 by Fn square, or Fn is equal to 0.4985 by root over delta 1 plus delta 2 plus so on delta Su by 1.27. So if you don't have a UDL, then you don't get this 1.27. Everything will be simply summation of all these deformation delta 1, delta 2, like so on, isn't it? So any problem, either cantilever or simply supported beam or fixed beam, the procedure is same. Only the thing you have to find out as an individual deformations, and finally you have to substitute in the Denkerley's equation and you get the natural frequency. Thank you.